Hi, my name is Khadija El Hussein, and I am a pre-service teacher currently undertaking Primary Health and Physical Education Unit. It is my role to teach primary health education along with other forms of literature, and as a pre-service teacher, learn what teaching pediatric content means and the pedagogical approach that it connotates. Now, I believe currently PDHP has been underestimated or often dismissed despite the unit being central to students' education that leave them to be active citizens. As noted in the K-6 New South Wales syllabus, that its aim is to develop skills, values, and attitudes that lead to positive, healthy, active, and safe life choices. PDHP has been linked to content that steers students to gain confidence within and an awareness of their own safety. This within itself leads to more positive and confident students that engage within the classroom. As a future teacher, I need to teach PDHP both effectively and meaningfully. A game sense approach aims to engage students that involves placing a game as a focus of the lesson. Now, this inhibits that students are provided numerous opportunities to develop skills while being aware how to apply these skills to the content. Teachers are able to alter the game to make it simpler or complicated. This can mean adjusting the space, time, amount of people, rules, and more. This can be adjusted to the capabilities of the students. Now, Richard Light, 2014, note that some things that teachers need to appropriately apply this approach. Now, this approach aims to give cognitive and contextual elements of physical education that can be applied to real-world games. This approach indicates that teachers should have high and specific expectation while creating a challenge that is appropriate and also achievable. It also exhibits building a quality, inclusive environment that promote collaboration and interaction. This is reflected in the PDHP strengths as students are able to work as a team and build respectful relationships. Self-awareness is a key aspect of the game sense approach, as students are self-regulating and learn how to apply these skills in making real-world decisions. Students also engage in a higher order of thinking and constant communication of what they are learning, in which reflect and actively building new information and skills. Students develop tactical awareness as well as appreciation of what they are learning and what would that mean when applied. This helps students to develop decision-making skills and game plan decision-making. This reflects outcomes such as PD3/5, where students propose, apply, and assess solutions to movement challenges and also outcomes PD4/4, which adapts movements and skills in a variety of physical activity contexts. By actively listening and participating in lectures and tutorials this semester, I have been able to gain a great sense of knowledge on applying PDHP in the classroom. In week 1, I was introduced to aspects of PDHP that I never had before and gained insight on the PDHP New South Wales syllabus. I gained an insight on what it is to teach PDHP, that teachers might understand all aspects in health in relation to PDHP prior, so that in turn I can effectively teach students. This aspect includes nutrition, sexuality, health, fitness, personal safety, and many more. PDH Pillars notes that this will give students an insight and the tools to make positive choices regarding their own and others' health, safety, and well-being now and in the future. Moreover, by gaining insight based on evidence of the lack of physical activity in young people, suggests the lack of motivation and awareness in young people. This motivates me in my pursuits of educating and building confidence in students using the PDHP curriculum. I learned the importance of giving expectations along with simple, clear, and concise instructions without providing too much information within a short time frame, maybe a minute long. Giving too much time or information may unmotivate or overwhelm students that can lead to confusion. It is also important to demonstrate what is being asked or done through modeling, applying a show and tell method where students are able to clarify instructions. After analyzing fundamental movement skill development, I'll apply 3 developmental stages of initial, formative, and mature into teaching that will help students develop even further. Overall, Week's 1 lecture and tutorial gave a great introduction into PDHP and allowed me to begin acquiring knowledge and gain perspective of what teaching PDHP may look like. Week 2 allowed me to further see what that looked like, in particular looking at the planning aspect of PDHP. We explored scope and sequences and what that looked like. You need to look at time allocation to the topics, the practical application, and promotion of hands-on activities, which are student-orientated, purposeful, including a variety of pedagogical approaches. This allows a form of deep learning as opposed to a surface learning where students do not gain the same insight and understanding of key learning areas. We discussed the scope and sequence that should be made for students. That means looking at their strengths and needs, as well as anything else that can impact student learning, such as behavior, attitudes, even the location. This also applies to programming and units of work for students. A great tool explained in the tutorial was the planning cycle. We need to understand students' current understanding and where we want them to learn, what we want them to learn. This entails understanding how we get them there and using assessment to understand if they've reached the goal. We looked at examples and I was able to visualize and gain further insight on what a good program may look like. We also addressed issues in PDHP, such as reluctance to teach sexual education to my own negative perceptions or being uncomfortable. However, I understand now there is a great need to overcome this, as sexual education is an important part of choosing healthy and safety choices. Growing up, these addresses weren't really addressed and may have caused this lack of comfortability with the topic. By educating my students, I can break this cycle. Sexuality and sexual education is a vital part to students' education and must be taught in a sensitive and respectful manner. Students need to gain the opportunity to gain knowledge surrounding the topic in order to create awareness. This can also lead to educated choices as active citizens when adults. In week 4, I was able to see what the game-centered approach looked in practice. Although this would be catered to students in primary, my tutor made sure to point out the areas that need to be implemented in primary schools, such as making sure we model the activity after giving out directions. To my surprise, the game-centered approach was actually very practical and engaging, and also very student-centered. Initially, coming back from online classes, I was really reluctant to even go to the tutorial that day. However, as I participated, I felt more at ease as the class was fun and also reflected how my development skills in invasion games was easier than I thought. There was a high level of dialogue throughout the tutorial, using open-ended questions and constant reflection in order to gain understanding why and where we can apply these skills. This further extended into problem-solving skills as well as decision-making skills on when to implement these practical new skills. As I looked around, I often saw that it catered to most students' needs and was very inclusive. Collaboration was also essential when navigating games and encouraged students to play as a team. Even those that could not participate physically were understanding how we can implement the game-centered approach and often took on roles that did not involve physical activity. The tutor never dismissed anyone's opinions, and even when peers' ideas did not seem ideal, the tutor chose to carry out why it would or wouldn't work rather than just dismiss them. Time and space, along with other elements such as the amount of players, were used to make the games more difficult. Furthermore, I can see how teachers are able to engage and motivate students while navigating to meet syllabus outcomes. These outcomes can include PD2/4, where students perform and refine movement skills in a variety of sequence situations. This experience put me in a situation where I altered my way of thinking through gaining insight and a reflection of theory work, which would be very important when implementing my own lessons in the future. In week 5, I further extended my knowledge on game-centered approach and was able to gain skills in modifying games and to choose a series of elected games that best helped students build skill in a particular sport, such as invasion, net, striking, and field games, and more. I learned how I could manipulate or change games to allow students to develop practical skills in a variety of sequences. By understanding what may come before or after certain games, I was able to develop my skills in choosing games. in a particular sequence that was best fit in developing practical skills to a particular game. I also saw there was a range of resources that are available, such as Sports AUS, to help develop these games. Overall, this helped me articulate strategies on how to plan and create a learning sequence of particular games while manipulating them, leading to an engaging and educational class. I saw the importance of inclusivity and including embedding Aboriginal and Indigenous aspects to adapt to the NESA curriculum to promote inclusivity. This enables students to explore diverse cultures and helps students meet outcomes such as PE 1/4. Students perform movement skills in a variety of sequence and situation. Undertaking this unit has allowed me to plan and gain an in-depth understanding of the strategies used, such as the game sense approach, and how it can help students achieve skill and knowledge to meet syllabus outcomes. This has shown to have positive results as well as being engaging and motivating. I also saw the importance of PDHP has to students in all aspects of life, including both theory and practical lessons. I also saw the challenges that I may potentially face and how to overcome these. Throughout the unit, I was able to constantly reflect on my dull and practical experiences of PDHP in my past and understood the implication it had on me as a child and now as an adult. By taking this step, I have moved past my negative experiences and assumptions and gained reasoning, leading to motivation to give students an engaging and meaningful experience that I did not have. Through participating throughout the unit, I have gained insight and understanding on how to implement these key strategies to teach PDHP content for future students. In particular, the game sense approach indefinitely allowed me to gain insight on how students learn and what is necessary to create the best results for students. The impact this unit has affected me as a teacher now and in the future. I am keen on continuing looking at how to develop PDHP as an engaging and purposeful experience. Thank you for listening and goodbye.